Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. I need a little favor. I need one of the little desks that's in that room. If you could just put it right here out of the classroom, we'll put it back. Inshallah. اللهم رحمتك أرجو فلا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين وأخلف لي شاني كله لا إله إلا أنت. Oh Allah, I seek your mercy and I hope that you will not trust me to myself. Do not leave me on my own for even the twinkling of an eye, and reconcile and make all of my affairs good for you. There is no God but you, O Allah. This is one of the very powerful du'as of Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of which I think we should pay strict attention to. Oh Allah, don't you leave me to myself for even the twinkling of an eye, a batting of an eye, of something less than a second. I have here the return for the school IRS 2018-990 form that's here, and I have the compilation report for the year 2018. This is for the school. These are legal documents that have been prepared by a licensed CPA. So those of you who have interest in it, I'm going to leave it right here. You can look at it. You can't take it, but you can look at it if you need it to satisfy your donations that you give to the school, you know, things of that nature. And with Allah's help, we will correct a lot of the mistakes that have been made in the past. Excuse me. We would like to address the best for us, and that you know that is Al-Quran Kareem. And we want to deal with the Islamic standard of conduct, of which myself included need to improve in speech, thought, and in action. So we have these wonderful bits of advice given to us by our leader, Muhammad the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of which the world is in dire need of. No matter how small we may seem, Allah tells us in the Quran how often has a small band overcome a large group. and this certainly is us, not just this masjid here at Al-Ansar, but all of the Muslims in America. We're a small group compared to the 350 million Americans. So with us, we accept what Allah says. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا, and the soul and its perfection. This is Allah talking to you, the Muslim, okay, and to me. It is not acceptable for us, the statement that the flesh is sinful. We don't accept it. We're a small group. We live in a big minority. Big majority. We're a small minority in a big majority. And the big majority is saying that over the airways and everything. And that, for a young mind, makes them inclined to do something wrong. And they will say, oh, I drank wine, I'm just human. I smoked a reefer, I'm just human. Why do they say that? Because the cultural language suggests that to the mind of the young and unsuspecting. So the Quran has to fill that void. You know, if you cut yourself here, the cut will not stay open. Nature will demand that it closes. Even if you don't put a bandage on it, nature will close it. So it's the same thing with the human mind. When the human mind is left open to influences that are against that human mind, then something has to close that wound. And so this is why we have the Quran. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. No matter what people tell you, Allah, the Quran tells you that your soul has been created in perfection. This is your position. This is your Islamic position. I don't care if the president says it. I don't care if all of the presidents in the parliament speak to the opposite. The whole world can be against us. But if one be right, he can straighten the world out. And then I'm going to say something else that's a problem. Not in the Arabic, but in the English. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. Translate. And the enlightenment as to, I'm going to use the English translation, as to its wrongs and as to its rights. Talking about the soul. Now I have a problem with it. I don't care who the big scholar is, I don't care how you recite the Quran back. The English translation is wrong. If you're going to say the soul and its enlightenment as to its wrongs, you are a Christian. It's the Christians that say the flesh is sinful. So here the big dummy in America that don't speak Arabic is correcting these people. You're wrong to say that. And I'll tell you why I'm saying it. Allah is good and does not accept anything but good. Who made the soul? Allah. So if you're going to say the soul has wrongs, you are saying that Allah created the soul wrong. I'm giving you serious stuff. This is no play stuff I'm giving you. So I read another Quran, and it says something a little different. And I like that translation. And we have it, it's here, it's somewhere here. If maybe Nerdy or somebody bring me one of those Qur'an that I read earlier today, yeah, bring me one. And I would say that Qur'an, see a lot of you would jump on me. But I finally got a Qur'an that says almost the same thing that I say. You know, the big fact, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now this is not nonsense. This is one of the translators. So don't beat me up. If it doesn't say what you want to hear, to beat you down, and say you're wrong, you're not right. I don't want no translation like that. Yeah, now, in this translation it says, وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا, and the soul, the nafs, and he, Allah, who perfected it in proportion. Now the problem, that was a translation problem. Then Allah showed man what is wrong for him, not that his soul was wrong. Can't be. You understand what I'm telling you? If you dependent on English, you're going to accept that there's something wrong that Allah created in the soul. So I have a problem with this translation. And that's many translations. And most people say, well, you don't have the right to say that. Well, tell this translator he don't have the right to say it either. So it says here, this translation. Then he, Allah, showed him, man, what is wrong for him and what is right for him. What a beautiful explanation. Now that takes me out of the problem of being created in sin. Because there's another hadith that says the same thing. And Allah is he who created the wrong. It means a shar. They say shar, they translate it as evil. And I'm telling you, how can Allah create evil? It's not in his nature. It's not in Allah's nature to create evil. And I want to help some of you a little bit further. You know Shaitan, the devil, Satan? Allah didn't create Satan. Now you listen to me. I know I don't know that much. But I ask you, or any of your great sheikhs, show me in the Quran where Allah created Satan. You can't do it. You will be blind. You can't find it. So I'm saying these things to you. Don't bring in Christian misunderstanding in the religion of Islam. That's not right. And you be careful, like people tell me, Nasir, you be careful of how you translate something. I accept you. I really do. I don't fight you. And I appreciate most of you mean well. You say, Nasir, you said such and such a thing. I think you should have said it this way. And I thank you. You ask any of them that talk to me privately. I don't fight. Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, if a believer is dishonored before any person who does not help that believer, when he has the ability to help that believer, the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah will dishonor that person on the day of resurrection before all of the other creatures. Muhammad the Prophet said, he who protects the honor of a Muslim in his absence, it becomes the duty of Allah to protect that person's honor on the day of judgment. This shows you how important you are in Islam. There's no backbiting. There's no jealousy accepted by the Prophet. Why did Prophet Muhammad say this 1,400 years ago? Because Allah knew that we would be living in this environment that we're in right now, where the leaders of this nation, they do nothing but throw dishonor, lies, slander on each other. But they want to be the leader of the country. The Prophet said, if a man saves the honor of his brother, Muslim, in his absence, it becomes the duty of Allah to save that person from hell. This is no joke. All these are little bitty things. This is not that important. And I told you before, this big old building with all of this electricity, I think the electricity bill might be $1,000 a month, something like that. Big old machines, big fans and everything. But you see my finger? Fuse this big will shut everything down. So what we think is small and insignificant in the sayings of Prophet Muhammad will save you from shutting down your intellect. So the Prophet, he said, backbiting consumes the future of a man sooner than fire consumes dry wood. This is our leader, Muhammad. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you practice this, you won't have the foolishness that you see going on in this nation. It's terrible. With all this technology, the airplane, the air conditioning, and so on and so forth, they don't have the common courtesy to respect the creation that Allah made. So you can see how important this ummah is. Very important. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, blessed is you who cannot see the faults of others because he remains busy with his own faults. This is our great leader, the man whom we love, the man whom we follow. Okay? There's nowhere in the world I can have unity with this man, this brother right here. No way him and I are going to be together. If when he's out of my sight, I'm talking about it. He's an alcoholic. He's a so on and so on and so forth. Some other fine adjectives I want to say about it. You follow what I'm saying? And then you hear it, and it gets back to him. He's hurt now. Because I said something about him out of context. Okay? Don't take this as from Nasir Ahmad. This is from our leader, Muhammad. And the prophet, he said, hell has a door. He who causes the anger of God by committing sin will enter hell through that door. And the prophet said, the tongue of one who fears Allah comes under control, and his anger is also brought under control. And he said, if a man will control anger, though he has the right to express that anger, Allah will call him on the resurrection day before all of the creatures. And Allah will say to that brother, to that sister, take whichever beautiful woman that you like. It's called hurrah. Then Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, there will never cease to be a group in my ummah who will not be helped by Allah, and they will not be harmed. So they're bombing this country, they're bombing that country, they're calling us all kind of things. I look and read what my leader said, and that's where I take my position. And he said, there will be a group in his ummah who will be helped by Allah, and they will never be abandoned by Allah. Allah. Mm-hmm. And he further said, he who injures the honor or the property of his Muslim brother shall seek pardon from him before he dies. And if he does not do that, then the sins of the person that he backbited, listen to this, will be mixed up with his sins, and then they will be increased on that person. This is Muhammad. This is great help. You don't know, oh, you're going to die, we're going to die, it ain't going to happen. Brother, let me tell you this here. When you go to sleep, whatever you had on your mind last night, don't you wake up with it in the morning? You sure do. So when you die, you will die physically, but you will be alive mentally. And Allah will awaken you. And the first thing on your mind will be the thing that weighs heavy on your mind at your death. Listen, I thank Allah for Muhammad the Prophet. I pray for him. Because too many of us see death too far away. Oh, I'll deal with it 20 years from now, 30 years from now. How do you know you ain't going to die tomorrow? Or next week? You don't know that. Okay? And the prophet, he said, you have three friends. Three friends, he said. He said the first friend is the one that will leave you when you die. And he said that first friend is your money. For too many of us, our friend is money. So he said when you die, that friend will leave you. Now if you don't believe it, show me the grave of any human being that's money inside of that grave and being spent. You go crazy trying to prove that. This is great wisdom. This is Muhammad speaking to us. Brothers, Allah. If a man told you tomorrow, if you take this piece of paper and you put it in your pocket tomorrow, and tomorrow you get $10 million because of this piece of paper, and